Well, here it is, fall 2014. Actually, I think winter is here. I've been inundated with leaves. We had a hard freeze. I'm in northern Alabama. And so most of my trees are just about done. I'm waiting till all the leaves fall off and then I'll prune them for the winter. My little fig tree, I don't know, I think it's still surviving actually. I have a bunch of new figs that still haven't done their thing. Some ripe ones. Let's see here. Pretty good. The greenhouse. In the hopes that I could bring the temperature up inside, I had these old diesel fuel tanks that I got at an auction. And I filled them with water, and they're sitting in the sun. They're painted black, of course. And the sun heats it up during the daytime, and then it gives off that heat back to the plants. It was really cold. I haven't gone in here yet. See what we've got for my winter crop. Hey, they're surviving. So good. Well, and here's the pipe. So I'm going to modify this entire area to be a hybrid raised rain gutter grow system. My tomatoes pretty much froze and died. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick all the green ones off this particular variety. And I think I'm going to try and pickle them. And then I'll get this cleaned up. Well, it's been a couple hours. I think I got a little bit of a grip on it. Man, these tomatoes just took over everything when they were unattended. But I did discover a bunch of Thai chilies and assorted chilies and jalapenos. So most of it's cleaned out. I'm able to salvage some of the green tomatoes. You know, it's just a big old mess around here right now. So I don't know, there's some yellow carrots. I don't know if I've ever seen pickled green tomatoes, but I'm going to give it a try. I've got some assorted things in there. We'll see how it turns out. As you can see, this is going to be a challenge to do all this in my tiny kitchen. And I mean, we're talking tiny here. This is the entire work area that I have. So water in the sink, and I'm just gonna wash all my tomatoes, my little green tomatoes and a few other little vegetables that I picked up here. And I guess I'll use that for the compost. Alright, I'm gonna wash them and get my chilies out of here. I'm drying my chilies. It's really a simple technique. Super simple. What I like to do is I like to take and run it at a slight angle with the needle through there at that type of an angle, and that lets them lay a little bit better. And you just simply slide it right down and fan them out as you go, and that's it. Well, that was quite the job. Some of them did succumb to a little bit of frost. The soft ones I threw in here, I peeled all the tops off, washed them. These are a different variety of tomato. I think these are all these cherry tomatoes that, you know, it was 32 degrees last night. It's going into the teens next week. These are a variety called peppermint tomatoes. And they're bright yellow with red stripes, but they never got a chance. So, well, I'm actually have more tomatoes than I have room to deal with. So, you know, I got most of it cut. I mean, this thing was almost full, and I still have to add onion to this. So, you know, these will end up in the compost pile, and that's fine. I don't know what else to do with them, and I don't want to monkey around with multiple batches. I just want to get it over with. Even though this is my first time, I still, you know, I have other things going on in my life, and it's time consuming, really. It's a lot more time consuming prepping this stuff than I thought. And a lot of these were, you know, they got some freezer burn, not freezer, but frozen burn from being outside when it froze. And a lot of these were protected because it was so overgrown. And I've actually delayed, you know, my progress here by discovering Larry Hall's rain gutter grow system new page that I'll put a link to. It's all about canning and whatnot, so that kind of occupied me for quite a while. Anyway, I'm back on it. I'm going to add some salt and some onion, and then cover it with ice, put it in the refrigerator for 4 hours, and then rinse it all off, and I'm sure you'll be watching that here in a second. I've mixed in the salt and the onions, and it's all stirred up and hand mixed and covered with ice, and now into the refrigerator for 4 hours. I found all kinds of recipes on YouTube and the internet for pickles, especially like green tomato pickles, but I'm gonna go with the ball book I bought with the canner, and I'm gonna add a couple extra things. I'll point it out as I get going here. This recipe called for white vinegar. All I have is apple cider vinegar, so that's what I'm going to use. 3½ cups of vinegar, 3½ cups of water, and 1/4 cup of salt. And I'm going to boil that up. And I'm actually re-sanitizing my jars. I'm going to start with half of them right now because they've been sitting out overnight, and I want to make sure they're good and sterilized. I think the lids are good, but I get those jars done again. And I just popped this out of the refrigerator. Let's see what she looks like here. Wow, there's still ice in there. That's good. Now I'm going to dump them into the sink. Wow, there's a lot of liquid in there. Ton of liquid came out. So I'm going to put these in the sink and let them get rinsed off a little bit, or I will rinse them off. God, it smells great, those onions. I love it. Okay. Alright, they're all rinsed, and I've got my stuff boiling here, getting ready to boil, and I'm just so curious what the hell one of these things tastes like. I actually taste a little onion in it. Salt. For sure, I taste salt. But that's okay. It's a pickle. There's 1/4 cup of salt that's going in here, that went in here anyway. So, alright, let's see what happens. Okay, I've added ingredients into the bottom. A little, now these fresh out of the boiling water. I put in some dill, some baby dill, just a little bit in each one. I put in 1/8 of a teaspoon of dill weed, dried dill weed, 1/4 of a teaspoon of this Miracle Blend herbal seasonings, 1/4 of a teaspoon of mustard seed, and about 1/2 teaspoon of garlic, chopped garlic, and 6 peppercorns. Now I'm going to go ahead and pack it up with the tomatoes, and then I'll ladle in the brine, or whatever it's called, the liquid, 1/2 inch from the top, and then I'm going to put in a little less than 1/4 teaspoon of this Ball Pickle Crisp granules, and basically it's calcium chloride, so it's a natural product. And that's it. So we'll see how this goes. I've got my liquid in, and now I'm just getting the air bubbles out that might be trapped in between these guys. And then I'll add just a little bit more liquid into some of them that look like the liquid goes down as the air bubbles come out. So it's going to need just a little top off. The measurement, 3½ water, 3.5 vinegar worked out perfectly for 8-pint jars. I just have a little bit left to top off, and then I'll put them back in the pressure cooker. Yeah, I just put them in, and now I'm going to wait for this thing to start steaming a little bit. That way I know it's boiling. And I've got my timer set for 20 minutes because I'm at 1,600 feet. So from 1,000 to 3,000 feet in elevation, you add 5 minutes to the processing time. This is a 15-minute process, so it'll be 20 minutes. So we'll pull them out then. And here's the last batch coming out. And I ran short on tomatoes, so I was only able to get 5 additional out of this batch. But that's it. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and please subscribe for future stuff. I'll probably do a follow-up in 6 weeks. So I can show what these things actually taste like. Thanks a lot for watching.